What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Love is Funny. I'm DJ or Demarie, whatever you want to call me.
I'm still Janelle.
Still Janelle. Better still be Janelle. Better not try to just switch up on me.
I could.
First of all, no, you can't.
Why I can't?
Because I got my New York hat on today, and that means I mean business. You heard? Wait, that was not even New York, huh? What city said you heard?
I don't know.
Anyway, well, yeah, we are back with another episode, and this is actually, if I'm counting correctly, episode 4, which means 4 weeks, which means, guess what? We've been in here for like a month. You know what I'm saying? And what we've been through, sleeping on the floor, we've been grinding to get y'all these episodes every week. You know what I'm saying? We lost our jobs.
Why would you say that?
We ain't ate. Because I want them to understand that it's like we've been grinding. Like
they say, the views is a grind. It's a slow grind.
I mean that too. You know what I mean? But
Don't
anyway,
say we lost our jobs. We haven't ate, because that's a blessing to have jobs and to be eating.
It was literally a joke.
No, but something you can't joke about. Remember, you said that earlier.
Anyway. Well, thank y'all for sticking with us for a month so far. We're just gonna be thanking y'all for the little milestones, because we are very thankful people. So yeah, thank y'all. But anyway, I don't know. First of all, how are you doing? Janelle has not been feeling good, and she's still out here grinding with y'all. So I just want to point that out, because
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Okay.
That's why I'm still here.
Yes, amen, sister. You're sitting on the couch, you're watching YouTube, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating. Maybe I'll subscribe next week, or maybe at the end of the video. No, do it right now. You can watch this after work or before work. Go do what you need to do to get these laughs and this entertainment. You spend all day on YouTube and social media anyhow. Why not subscribe to a channel that's gonna help you in your future? Pick up your thumbs and push the button. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy. So let's just get to it, you know what I mean? The main topic in the world right now is this whole Deion Sanders thing. And, the whole thing about Deion Sanders going to HBCU, establishing this culture, and then basically leaving for a bigger school or a bigger opportunity, whatever the case may be.
PWI.
Yes. So
primarily white institution, if you don't know what that means.
Yeah. Oh, that's what
Or predominantly. I think it's predominantly. Or primarily. It's like the same thing.
See, I'm not even going to act like I knew what that stood for.
Do you know what HBCU stands for?
Yeah. Hot barbecue, Cheetos, us.
Ew. Hot barbecue Cheetos sounds disgusting.
Well, you shouldn't have asked me. But anyway.
I know there's people that may not know what HBCU is.
Well, that's why we here. That's why we're having this discussion, because you just so happen to have gone to a HBCU. So you have...
Okay, so you can tell them what HBCU stands for?
Are you going to tell them? Because I don't know. I'm not about to act like I know.
You just said you knew.
I know I lied.
Well, I thought you was being funny. So, go ahead.
You're supposed to tell them what HBCU stand for now.
Historically Black colleges and universities.
And then again, I lied. I did know that. Anyway, what?
It's too early.
Oh my, bro. What you? Sorry. Okay. Anyway, like I said, Janelle actually did attend HBCU, so we did want to have this discussion because I wanted to get her perspective. She's told me like a little bit, but I wanted to get your true perspective on it, because a lot of people feeling like he just, you know what I'm saying, he just dipped on the HBCU after, speaking about certain things regarding going to HBCU. So how do you feel about Deion Sanders heading up to Colorado?
Well, first I'm going to say aloud, I'm Black and I'm proud. Or is it this way? I don't even know. This is A. This is this way.
Okay.
And I'm all for the betterment of Black people. But I kind of understand his viewpoint. If you watched on his Instagram why he was choosing to do it. And you can't argue with God. So I get that. But from the standpoint of like the Black school part, and I haven't followed his whole journey that much, period. So I don't have that much to say. But it's good to have the attention on the schools because those schools don't get a lot of attention. Most people, a lot of people don't even know about them. I'm originally from California, and I didn't really know about no HBCU. I had moved to Texas, and my mom was like, you need to go to a black school. You need to be around some more black people, after she's the one that put me in predominantly white schools, but growing up. But yes, I was like, what is that? And so I was like, I guess learned HBCU. But we'll get back to that. But as far as Deion Sanders, it's unfortunate for the HBCU community in a sense. However, he's such an isolated, it's one school in a plethora of HBCUs. So like we can say, oh, he brought attention to HBCUs, he did this, he did that. And it's like he kind of didn't, because he only did it for one school in a sense, because there's so many other that people still don't know about, and I don't know if he stayed long enough to like show progress and get it going so that it kind of spreads across other HBCUs. So in a sense, I guess I would wish that he would have stayed longer for that to, because his thing was like creating opportunities for black coaches. And it's like create some opportunity. I guess a lot of the HBCUs have black coaches, but if you know ones that are greater like him in the NFL or who have that great coaching ability, get them in these schools so that they're making money or can make ways. Because I know that you told me he donated a lot of his salary to
half of it,
the school, which I don't know if other coaches do that, but we know that Deion Sanders, he said he ain't chasing a bag, so he not, and nowhere near broke. So he has the opportunity to do that. I can't say that other schools coaches do. And I also don't even know if other schools get paid $1 million. Other coaches get paid $1 million, over $1 million, like he did. I honestly don't know. I guess I should do my research. But then like he said he felt God is sending him this way to create avenues for black coaches at PWIs. But to me, at the end of the day, being a black person in America, you can only get so far. Look at Kanye. He got as far as being a billionaire, and they stripped that from him in a second, the moment they didn't like something that he did. So yeah, he can go over to these PWIs and coach and create opportunities for more black coaches, but it's like, then it goes back to, they got a foot on your neck no matter what. So I would have preferred if he could have stayed at a black school and just created more attention and a revenue for those schools, other than, because if it's about the students, progressing and getting athletes to come to, I'm talking for a long time, oh my God, getting higher level athletes to come to these schools, then that's great, bring more attention. But when you leave, you kind of take that attention because it's Deion Sanders. Now somebody about to come in and say it's still JSU, but they're gonna be like,
Yeah, you definitely want to go to a school to play for the coach. But I will say, as far as like bringing attention to HBCUs, most of us growing up, like, and you don't even hear them as HBCU. You don't hear the term HBCU till you get older. You just hear black school. So the one that my grandma always spoke to us about was Spelman for the girls and Morehouse for the boys. Outside of that, we never heard about like any other HBCU. So like even when I met Janelle, she told me she went to Prairie View, and I'm like, that's the HBCU? What is that? Like, I'm not knowing what that is. So I do think that he did bring more awareness to them, because even Jackson State, I never heard of Jackson State before. So I think one thing he could have done with bringing awareness to Jackson State is make people do their Googles and say like, oh, well, what are other HBCUs if you were moved to try to go to a HBCU?
But now that he's gone, that attention's not on it. So I don't know if people will then be like, oh, well, let me go Google.
Well, I think that depends on what you're looking for. So maybe like from an athletics standpoint, because you may do your Googles and then like you were explaining to me about Prairie View. Maybe it was Prairie View or maybe a different school. You were explaining to me like, all the engineering programs and things like that. That if you're a kid who's not here to play football or any sports, you're just looking for a school with great programs, and the school you have a chance at getting into, you may go and look and say, "Oh, I do want to be an engineer. I didn't think they'd have that." So maybe just through research, you might find extra outside of even the football and whatever, basketball, whatever the case.
Yeah, and what comes to my head is like it takes a village. So it takes a village of HBCU graduates, I think, not just popular coaches, to promote the brand of HBCU. Because like one of my nieces, she wants to be a doctor, and I'm like, you should go to a HBCU. Howard has a great medical program. But she's like, oh, well, she's kind of hesitant because it's like, will they let her into medical school? And we're like, first, you're Black. You're going to meet their quota of Black people getting into medical school. You know, if you can get the grades. But also, like, we know a doctor who's Black who went to her undergrad in HBCU, because at the end of the day, as long as your school's accredited, your degree is the same degree as they got at UCLA or, you know, whatever, as far as on paper. You know, now it might be like, oh, they might know this, they might know that, but it's still going to be the same. For me, nursing, I thought, honestly, I was like, when I moved back to California, I was like, oh, people don't even know where Prairie View is. Am I going to get a nursing job? But they're like, do you have a degree or no? Do you have a license or no? Can you work or not?
It'd be that simple.
Yeah. You know, and it's not to diminish the HBCU thing. It's also just to say that, like, they can keep up. They can compete with these schools. So, yeah, Prairie View has a really good nursing school. It's one of the better ones in Houston area. They have good engineering, which is what I initially started going for. Yeah. And honestly, I wasn't even going to go to Prairie View. It wasn't my first choice because I obviously didn't that much research on it, but I went because they're the school that gave me that best scholarship. And I got a scholarship off academics, and I only graduated with like a 3.7 in high school. So people, especially Black people who are getting these higher grades, or maybe not top 10%, you know, that can go like anywhere where you're not going to get as much money. They paid for like the estimated cost to attend, I think was like 40 something thousand. And my scholarship at the time was 36,000. So HBCUs are also cheaper, especially if you live in the state. But, you know, there are benefits to them. You know, being in class, I grew up being kind of one of the only kids that look like me in the class. And then you go to a HBCU where everybody looks like you in the class, and you get to be around people who are trying and just as well educated or want to better themselves as you. So it's a great support community.
Yeah, I think the main thing though, like you mentioned, is because Deion Sanders is getting a lot of like blame for certain things, when really the main thing is, like you said, the alumni need to. Not even just the alumni. Anybody can donate to these HBCUs. So if you're online and you're upset about Deion Sanders right now, make some donations to these HBCUs, because part of, let's say he did leave for the money. Well, guess what? If the HBCU got more money, they can pay coaches to stay, if it is about the money. But outside of that, because the whole thing is like, well, now Deion Sanders could have been recruiting some of those top kids to go to Jackson State, whereas now they're going to be going to these bigger schools. Well, the goal as an athlete, we'll speak for athletics, is to do what? To go pro. A lot of these kids are coming from very bad situations, and you do have a better chance of getting to the NFL from Colorado than you do from Jackson State, historically, obviously. So for Deion Sanders to now be in a position to go get those kids that he could have recruited to Jackson State but can now recruit them to a bigger school, that will actually help a lot of athletes. But as far as awareness, it also goes to the athlete. So let's just speak about the NBA. How about us as parents? It just depends on your kid, though. I'm not gonna say this for everybody, but some of these kids know for a fact I'm going pro, whether I go to college or not. Some of these kids are going straight to like the NBA G League and things like that. How about let's say it's a Zion Williamson or a LaMelo Ball or a LeBron James level like popular kid that's going into college? What if one of them went to a HBCU? Let's say LeBron sends his son to a HBCU. That school in 1 year is going to make so much money just off of like him playing on television, them selling his jersey, the arena being packed, all these things. So all it would take is for some of our parents to start encouraging our top athletes to like, hey, go to that school. If you're a pro, you're a pro. Shannon Sharp is one of the greatest tight ends ever. He went to Savannah State, HBCU. Like, when you're on that level, the school you go to doesn't matter. They just need you to go, just so that they don't break no rules by allowing you to go pro. So I think that will help. There's so much money involved in like these NCAA bowl games, and then with basketball, March Madness and all these. It's literally billions of dollars made. Like with March Madness, they make billions of dollars in that single few weeks of play. Imagine at HBCU having it. And then by the top kids going to HBCU, your team won't be a sorry team. You're going to have a good team if you have, because then you can go grab other top players and like, hey, look, I'm going to Prairie View. I'm going to Jackson State. I'm going to whatever school, and I'm about to hoop. Y'all want to come with me? We link up at this school for 1 year. All it would take is one, like I said, a Zion Williamson, somebody that popular to go for 1 year, and then the kids behind him will start to look and be like, wow, Zion went to this school. I should look at HBCUs. And then he's up there speaking on the platform. It shouldn't take Chris Paul, who didn't go to HBCU, to be like the highest promoter of HBCUs. That's great, but imagine if a kid that's a superstar in a pro league did go there.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing with Black people sticking together in a sense to uplift each other, because even like I went to mostly white schools because they had the better education, and it's not, in some instances, it's not the fault of a high minority school. It's just like we were talking about before. It's like booster clubs and parents donating money and things like that. And some people don't. So it's just a disadvantage of society at the same time. But at least for a college, if you graduated from there, you got a job, donating, things like that can help. But also just raising awareness, because what they call it, primary school, elementary and high school, you're going to go. Secondary school is an option. College is an option. So making a more awareness of it. Being like from California, if you try to go to, a Black school, usually it's going to be out of state. So you might just pay more because it's out of state tuition. However, like if your grades are good or your athletics, they do have ways where they can waive the out-of-state tuition fees. And again, if you're going to get like a similar degree, why take out like $100,000 in school loans when you can take out $40,000 in school loans?
And them degrees is going to do the same exact thing.
Because even if you look at it, HBCUs have there's some that have really good pharmacy schools and PharmD, which is like doctorate of pharmacy schools. They have good law schools. Like I think Morehouse is one of the good ones with law. Like I said, Howard is good with medical. Prairie View that I know is, like I said, nursing and engineering. So those, and if their athletics are not that great, then like you said, send some of these greater athletes, like some of them are going to these colleges and not even getting to play. Go to where you can go, get some playing time, get your records up, and maybe even go, if you don't make it to the NFL, what is it? The Canadian League or other leagues?
For football.
Yeah, and then basketball.
It's overseas everywhere.
Literally. Yeah. So you can go to community college maybe from overseas, I don't know. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, the main thing is, if you have an issue with Deion Sanders leaving and you want to see HBCUs get a certain level of attention or promoted in a certain way, there are things like try to encourage your kids to go to HBCUs if you got great athletes. Also, make sure you're donating, because HBCUs, again, can pay coaches like Deion Sanders or whoever to stay longer, but they can also get better facilities for the athletes, better training staff for the athletes. That will make an athlete that's coming into that school say like, hey, I want to be here because I feel like I got a great chance of going pro from right here. But also outside of athletics, with donations, they can make sure there's better labs, computers, better books, better education, better teaching, or better professors, just much more, like many more programs that they can get into through funding. But also, if you go to a HBCU, make your school feel like turned up outside of homecoming week or weekend. Is it week or a weekend?
Week.
Yeah, so outside of homecoming, be at those games, packing those arenas and stadiums, and no matter who's on the sideline, go support your teams or go support what your school got going on. If it's not, an athletic event, just be, what I'm saying, make it UCLA and all those things. Like, you go to a UCLA preseason game, they in there being loud at the at the arena, all these things.
And as far as education and going to a black school, a lot of times the class size is smaller. The schools are usually smaller. So you might go to UCLA and people talk about there's 200 people in my class. I didn't ever have 200 people in my class.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times you have black teachers who want you to succeed, who are there to help. So it's like you're not getting left behind unless you like you just don't care at all, but you won't get as lost as you are with 200 students. There's other people there that you can meet, band together, help you. Prairie View had really nice dorms.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these older PWIs have like community bathrooms and, oh.
Yeah. My school, the bathroom, I went to school online.
You're not helping promote HBCU with that?
No, I was.
I don't think so.
I went to home base.
But it was something I was going to say. And as far as Deion Sanders, we hope that he goes to these Colorado, makes way more money, and then donates more money, since he don't need it, allegedly. Donate more money to more schools to help build up their programs.
I will say this too. One issue is that black coaches don't get opportunities like the one Deion Sanders got. He's actually the first person from an HBCU to be hired from HBCU to one of those PWI schools, which to me, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, what do we want? Because we will
more
express
money.
Well, we will express how black coaches don't get these types of opportunities, and then as soon as one gets one, and then he takes it, then we're also upset. So it's kind of like, what do we want? And I think a lot of people's hurt is more so, not even because Deion Sanders left. I don't know. You just feel bad for the kids. And then I heard someone from Mississippi call and mention how like Jackson, that's like probably our most popular city. Is it their capital city? I want to say it's their capital city, and like they're not.
Is it Tallahassee?
No, that's Florida.
Oh, Jackson's in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
oops.
So how you quick letter I? How the song go?
Yeah, but no. I don't. I know I've heard of Jackson, Mississippi, but I don't know why I thought that school was in.
No, it's
another school.
It's in Mississippi, and the person was just basically expressing like, bro, he gave us something. Like, they don't have an NFL team, they don't have NBA team, they don't have a baseball, like a hockey team, nothing. So he gave the whole state of Mississippi something to like, something that they can be proud of. So that is one thing that you do feel bad for. And like the kids that did only come there because he was there. So I guess one thing you will hope is that those kids do somehow get to at least keep in contact with him because a lot of it was the mentorship he gave. Most kids are not going to the NFL from college. So it's great to get something while you're there from a coach.
But I think also he got some recruits that could have gone to other schools, and he got them. So it's like, are you then taking them with you, or are you leaving them there? Because they made their decision based on him. More than likely based on him. And I think that's what he was saying, like, whatever the portal was, like, don't jump into it or try to switch schools. Because you might be, I think when you switch, you're ineligible for it. I don't know. But.
Well, he was saying you can get lost because if you're not like a top player, there's new recruits coming into that portal to where it's like you're taking a risk. Like you might want to keep your spot while you already have one.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many years he did of his contract. I don't know. How many years was he there? We have to Google that.
That's what almost made me laugh. I didn't know. I'm thinking he get hired at Colorado. He finished this season, and then he go to Colorado. He just got the job up in the middle of the season. He didn't just leave because they still played a couple more games. They may still be having games. I don't know. But he already did like his introduction press conference and everything to Colorado. Like
he
he's
said
there.
that he was finishing them up through the end of like the season.
Okay, so yeah, he is gonna finish. It's weird though. You already like did your press conference and then you got to go back. And be like, well,
unless they lost that game. I don't know when that video was made. I don't know.
No, they won. They just won the championship for their conference. So they did go and play those games.
Oh yeah. Well, he has to go over there to get ready for spring football.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good luck to Colorado. Hopefully it was a God decision or else.
Yeah, you never know. You know what I'm saying?
You know, nobody's ever. I was thinking about that last night or this morning. I was like, nobody will ever really understand the plan God has for you. Sometimes you don't. So it's not up to other people to decide what you should do and what you shouldn't do. You know, it's whatever you feel God is leading you to do. And hopefully, you know, you hear a clear voice and that's the right decision.
You also, too, don't really. Because everybody's not going to understand you and understand your decision making. So sometimes you don't have to feel so like compelled to explain yourself to everybody. Just sometimes, like in the case of Deion Sanders, let's say his plan is, I'm actually going to take a lot of this salary as well, which is more money, and actually still be donating to Jackson State or other HB. Like we don't know what his plan is, what he plans to do with this new opportunity, whatever. So sometimes it's like, I'm going to just let y'all see it play out. And then at the end of this, you know what I'm saying, I won't need no apologies or nothing. It'll be all good because I understand. But, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, let people make their decision. At the end of the day, y'all don't care for real because in like 3 days, it's going to be a new topic.
Yeah, because I think the reason why the school one was like their record is trash, it's been trash.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
But like I was saying before, like he has a team of coaches with him. One head coach hasn't coached the whole entire football team.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But yeah.
And if if he leaves the assistant coach at JSU to be the head coach, but he takes all the other coaching staff with him, the new coach then has to build up staff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be a shot in the foot to JSU or not, you know. And they're not even sure if that guy can even take over this. That's something about, like, the politics of it.
Yeah.
So, clearly he didn't stay long enough to get that much pull.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it all play out.
Yeah.
Hi. Are you just starting a podcast but don't have any sponsors, ads, or commercials? Well, so are we. That's why we decided to make our own.
Yeah, so like we didn't really know what to do. It was like, who about to help us out? Who about to pay for this? Who about to pay us? What we about to do, right? But then we were like, you know what? Why don't we just make our own? Because they say if you teach a man to fish, you can eat forever. So we taught ourselves how to fish, and now we're eating because, boom, here we are. Yeah, man. Like she said, we was looking for it. Sir. You still got the shirt. The advertising man's shirt on. You thought the hat was gonna make a difference?
I thought they wouldn't like notice, yeah.
Well, now you know you blew our whole cover.
We make our own commercials.
Take it off.
The
off
hat
camera.
or the hat or the shirt? Both. Probably both, huh?
No, because you should have seen your hair under that hat.
While we're on the topic of college in general, how do you feel about? Because this is a conversation that that a lot of people have about going to college versus like entrepreneurship, or what's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. Like, what is the correct answer?
Almost 10 years ago, I would have said just go to college, because the degree teaches like discipline and commitment to something. It helps you kind of navigate. And depending on who you are, it can be like a bridge between high school and adulthood. Because, you know, sometimes you move out of dorms, or even you got to pay rent to your dorms too. So it can help in those ways. Worst case, you can go work for like places like Enterprise, or places that's like, look, we just need you to have a degree. We don't care about nothing else. We just need you to have a degree. You know, even if it's not always your first plan, it can be a fallback plan for the degree wise. Because everybody's going to go, like nursing, I would, you know, my job would be a nurse, you know, but somebody who has a degree like in math, oh, I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. But you may be able to go be a teacher or work in some other company where they require your math skills. So it's different avenues. However, I do understand that college ain't for everybody, you know, and it's not for everybody at the time it's supposed to be for everybody. But I think that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you just have to still study how to do it. You know, read books or Google these days, you know, what steps you need to take, what do you need to do. So it's still in a sense obtaining some type of education. It's just no degrees, school attached to it. Because like some people go to school for business, and everybody will tell you you don't need a business degree to open a business. You know, but it can teach you fundamentals, but you can also probably find those things in a book that you can read at home in less than 4 years.
Yeah, and then you also might be learning business from a teacher who does not own a business. They read books about business and never started one. So that can be it. But I think that the main thing, even with entrepreneurship, whatever route you take, is discipline and commitment. I don't think that college teaches you that. Well, I don't think college is the only place you can learn that. I think it's necessary for both, though, because obviously you won't succeed in college without discipline and commitment, and you won't succeed in entrepreneurship without discipline and commitment. I think that the main thing is having a plan, because if you go to college and you go there, you do great, you do your 4 years, whatever, but you don't have a plan, guess what? You can still get out of college and not even work the job or work a job in the field that you got a degree in. You might end up working at Enterprise just because they accept anybody with a degree. But it's like, well, I went to school for, you wanted to go to school for like aerospace engineering? Why am I working at Enterprise now? I spent all this money, I did all that, whatever. So like, be very intentional about why you're in college. Don't be there because, oh, my mom said I should go to college, my grandparents, whatever. Be there because you know why you want to be there. And it's like, I'm about to go to school, do these 4 years, and then I'm going to go do that, so that you don't get out and be trying to figure it out afterwards. After you spent, because it costs so much money to go to college.
But sometimes you can go to a university if you can get into one. Those first 2 years, you kind of take general classes and you can dip and dabble trying to figure out what you want. It may make you take longer because some places require a degree plan that starts in the beginning, or even going to community college. And community college is 2 years and you can still graduate with an associate's, and at least it's some little step, you know, because like you said, if you didn't decide you want to go to entrepreneur and that doesn't really work out for you, you already got the 2 years done. And in those 2 years, you could be learning things. But because you say know what you want to do. Like I said, if you just want to go take basic classes, get them out the way, general classes, or dip and dabble, like, oh, maybe I want to try, like I took an accounting class because like maybe I want to be an accountant because I like math.
Yeah.
You know, so you can do things like that at community college where you can just kind of sign up for a class, I think,
Yeah.
See what you want before you commit to so much money.
Yeah. But there are the people who know they want to do, they have this idea, or they have a business that they want to start, or they may have a business that they already started, but they feel like they have to go to college. And then they do take time away from their business or whatever they're trying to do to go to college for even just 2 years. And that could have been 2 years going towards your learning your business versus just learning this general education that had nothing to do with your business. So like Haley, my sister, she has a dipped strawberry business. It's more than that. It's all desserts, cookies, all that stuff. Janelle loves her
Really
stuff.
good cookies.
Yeah,
And strawberries.
Yeah, so she has her own business. She knows this is what she's going to be doing. So there's no reason for her to go get general education. Now, she is in college, but it's for culinary arts. So that is a very direct thing. It has to do with her end goal. It's very intentional. It's not just, I'm just here because somebody said I should be. It's not, because truthfully, in today's time, I won't speak for this, the 60s and 70s and that's why you have to be careful who you're listening to, because our parents and our grandparents and things like that are speaking from the perspective of a different time period. At their time, they are correct. College was probably the safest, best route to take. But we now live in this world with this internet to where my sister, again, I use her as the example because she's only 18, so she's an example of a young college-age person. She's not having to work all hard to get her strawberries into a store and then learn business out of school and then learn how to network and all these. She just literally is using her social media to sell strawberries, and it's probably making more money than all of us right now doing so. So this internet is it can be a gift and a curse. The gift is you can literally start a business. There's so many millionaire kids that only know one thing, how to create content or whatever the case. What's his name? The kid that opened the toys? It's not Ryan. I think it's Ryan, but he was like the highest paid YouTuber in the world.
Well, we don't know what his parents know to him.
Yeah, but all we know is he made money opening toys. But
yeah, that's what. There's multiple ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
If you don't, like I said, if you don't have a plan for anything, maybe go to school, take some classes just in case. But if you do have a plan where school's not going to benefit me at this time, maybe later, or nowadays you can go to school online and it's a lot easier. You don't have to go sit in a class, or you can, like I said, take one class here, one class there that'll teach you, read a book.
Yeah.
It all just, like, I came from, I think I told you my mom is older. So she's like, you need to college. She didn't tell me necessarily I need to go to college. She's like, you need to have a plan,
Yeah.
But it's one of those moms where, the back of your head, you need to go to college.
Yeah.
So because I hate school, I said I wasn't going to go to college. Then I was like, I'm just going to community college and work and then figure it out. And God was like, heck no. And I'm thank God for that, because couldn't be me.
Yeah.
So it's really just depending upon your person and what you want to do. Even with nursing, sometimes I still don't know what I want to do with nursing.
Yeah. I think it's very cliche to say, but literally follow your heart or your gut instinct, because oftentimes we ourselves know, well, I don't want to do that, but we got friends and family like encouraging us or pushing us to do that. And then you go, and that's not just college. That could be college, or maybe you are somebody who comes from a family of nothing but business owners, and it's just known like, oh, when you get older, you're going to take over the family business. And it's like, well, I don't want to take over the family business. I just want to go to school and I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a teacher, or whatever. It's okay to go do that. Go follow your own, because at the end of the day, like we talked about, comparison being a thief of joy at an earlier episode. So is doing something that somebody else wants you to do versus what you want to do. It's not to say don't listen to your parents' guidance, but at the end of the day, it is your life. You can make your own final decision. Your parents are there to guide you. If you make your own decision, then cool, but you don't have to do anything. Just like we say, have a plan and be very intentional with that plan and say, this is what I'm going to do.
and lay in the bed you made. So if you're like, I don't want to go to college, I want to be a bum, be content with being a bum.
Nobody says that.
Until you're no longer content with that, and then you'll go figure it out. Because some people are like, oh, when I turn 18, I'm going to move out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then life hits you. And it's like, okay, be content with the choices that you made, but then try to figure out, okay, what is the next thing for me? What do I need to do? Because sometimes what you need to do is not always what you want to do.
Yeah, but even when you do get to that space where, like, you haven't failed until you quit. So if I did say at 18, this is what I'm about to do, and now I'm 24 years old and I ain't did it yet. Did you just lay there, or did you try to figure out why hasn't it worked yet? Okay, let me try this. Let me try it this way. Let me try. Because one thing is, as long as you keep going, eventually it don't have no choice but to work. It's literally how it goes. You just
but you have to be consciously trying to figure it out. Just going like from this job to that job to this. I don't like this job to them and quit. I don't like this job to them and quit. Like chasing your tail. Like chase in a direction. So even if you are jumping job to job because you find one that you like better or one that makes more, but know like what your end goal is. Some people don't have an end goal, or they have an end goal but they don't have a plan. Or
you are going job to job because you are trying to get a job when truthfully you should be doing this, and those jobs are not in line with what you know your purpose is to be, or what you feel like they don't line up with where you're trying to go. So you do feel like I got here, I'm wasting time. So you do find yourself jumping around.
But why can you not do both? How come you can't know where you want to be and be taking the steps to get there? And maybe that steps won't get you money, but in the meantime, you're trying to make money. Like sometimes people have a job. The job is the plan B to fund the plan A.
Yeah, because so that's why, but in that case, it's about being careful with the job, because you say, why can't you do both? What if you went somewhere for the money and you working 12 hours a day? The rest of the time, like you can find yourself trapped in a position where you completely forgot about why you started this, and next thing you know, you look up and you're 65 and you never did what you were called to do. But
that's if you don't really have a plan, or you're not sticking to your plan, because you can stick to your plan A and be like, okay, I got to do this. So with this job, I can make this, and I can use that to do this and this and this. And when you're off from your plan B job, you're working on your plan A job.
Yeah. So that's why.
But you can get stuck in your plan B job, but that means you probably somewhere along the line got distracted or given up on your plan A, or you weren't sticking to your plan A strategically to get to that. Because it's like, okay, well, every plan B check I get, I'm going to put 50% towards this so I can do this. So maybe it could be like, okay, now I've built up this much in savings. I can quit this job for a little bit and spend my time focusing on this because I have the savings behind me.
You also have to entrepreneurship or college, by the way. Neither of these things mean rich or millionaire. Mm-hmm. So don't make it about money all the time. Make it about, what is my purpose? I know people ask like how to find your purpose. That is something that we all trying to figure out. It's something you just have to pray about, but also pay attention. I feel like God gives you clues to your purpose. And one of those clues is your gift, which I heard, again, I like to cite my sources. Steve Harvey says, your gift is the thing you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. So something that just always came easy to you, or something you just always have loved, and whatever the case, that may have something to do with your purpose. And I feel like if you're living in your purpose may only pay you $35,000 a year, but you will be so happy knowing that you're doing something that you chose and that you love, and that is your purpose, your reason for being here, making $35,000 versus doing something that you went and chased money for and making $350,000. You can have that much money, $350,000 a year, and be miserable. Absolutely. People, billionaires and all that, they commit suicide and have depression and anxiety and things like that as well.
So it's not the money that's going to make you happy. It's have a plan, find your purpose and live in that. And you will be happy, whether that's at school or as an entrepreneur.
And as long as it's God's plan for you, like, you won't struggle. You will be okay. He makes ways out of no ways. He provides, he shelters, he does all that. So as long as you're doing that, because even for myself speaking, what I'm doing right now in my life, to some people might be like, but when I look at
what does that look mean?
Like, what the heck? Like, how could you? Why would you? But when I look, like, my life, even taking less money than I've ever made, my life is still good. Like, I'm having things that I wouldn't have thought to buy with more money that I had. So God will always make a way, even when you just, like, you trust him. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I feel like he wants me to do. If he tells you to sit down, you sit. If he tells you to get up, you get up. He tells you to move to the right, you do that. And each time he tells you to move, like, it's a safe space for you. When you step out of that purpose, out of that plan, it's a little risky. It's walking on the edge.
And it has to be, it's your own purpose. So again, you cannot listen to and it's hard sometimes because we have people very close to us that see a different purpose for you or want to see different things for you. And sometimes you just got to stand firm in what you believe you're supposed to be doing or what God told you you're supposed to be doing. Because people close to us, they love us. So again, a parent, a grandparent, a best friend, or whoever, they're operating from a place of like, I love you. I just want to see you be safe. So they tell you, oftentimes they would tell you to do what is, quote unquote, the safest thing to do. And it's not because they don't believe you can do something else. They just like, man, I know this worked because it worked for me. Or maybe they already tried what you are wanting to try and it didn't work for them. And they don't want to see you go through what they went through. So you just have to worry about your own purpose. You can discuss it with certain people. Don't discuss it with everybody because there are people who will speak failure into your life or that literally will. You talk to me about people who are like, you know, these demons out here or these false prophet type people who, like, you can tell, like, they, you know how T Grizzly say, they preyed on my downfall. People literally will do that. So be careful who you share your stuff with, but share with the right people, take the right advice, but at the end of the day, make your own decision using the advice you've been giving and the experiences you've had.
Yeah, because some people can lead you in the wrong direction. I think there was a cartoon and he's like turned the arrow. Like if one animal was chasing, they would turn it.
Yeah.
So people will do that to you. So it's really like, use people in the world for your pleasure. You know, everything else is like between you and God, because the ultimate purpose is getting to God, doing what he wants. You know, he's not going to get me to heaven. I'm not going to get him to heaven. My actions, his actions will get us there. But he's the benefit. He's the pleasure on this earth that I can have. So use people for that. You know, you can depend on people that you trust. And even then, pray to God that he puts the right people in your life and gives you this discernment to see who's the good and who's the bad. Because we've all have maybe trusted somebody and that person has failed us at some point, you know, and that happens, you know, but walking in your purpose, being attentive to God's plan, you will see evil or negativity come towards you, but you just have to overcome that and trust that you're doing the right things.
By the way, negativity is coming regardless. You cannot get anywhere without overcoming something. So in college, you're going to have times where school is very difficult and very hard, and you got to push through. In entrepreneurship, there's going to be times where things are very difficult. It's very hard. Me doing comedy, is going to be times where the crowd ain't messing with me that night, and all these types of things. I hope that don't happen, by the way. But there's going to be rough days for her at work where, like, even today, she just didn't feel good. But there are still patients who need to be taken care of and things like that. So you always going to have to just push through. and overcome something, especially when you're trying to reach like higher things. The higher you go, the more you're gonna have to overcome. It's just like playing a video game. Every time you go up a level, the challenge you gotta face is harder, until eventually on Mortal Kombat you get up to the top and do with all the arms is like, and then once you knock him out, you beat the game type stuff. So understand that the challenges are gonna be there, and the only way to get to where you're going is to overcome them. And then those challenges will make the whole thing even more worth it. Like, it's gonna feel so much better. So I don't know, always keep your eye on the destination, and you know what I'm saying, the journey will be.
And don't forget to help other people along the way, because don't be greedy and like, I worked this hard to get this, and I'm not going to help anybody get to here. Like, what's for you is going to be for you. If you became the CEO of a business or wherever, and somebody's like, oh, how did you get there? When their time to come, it's going to come. When your time is up, it's going to be up. But don't like hinder somebody else from accomplishing things. Like, if someone reached out to you like, oh, how can I do this? Or how did you do this? Not everything is about like, well, I had to work hard, so you need to work hard to get there. No, maybe you're supposed to pave a way for somebody to take a shortcut or help somebody. Especially like, I know we talk about that a lot in the Black community. Is like, we don't look back to help the other person, because oftentimes we're like, man, it took me so much to get here. They only let so many Black people at the top or whatever. But
the thing that people forget when they're saying those things, though, is that this earth is made up of people, and we all needed somebody to get to where we at. You actually didn't need one. Not only did you need one person, you needed multiple people. So it could have even been a situation where, man, I wouldn't have got here if my boy wouldn't have introduced me to the CEO of this. He didn't introduce you to the job itself or the money itself. He introduced you to another person who could get you the money or the job or whatever the case. So whenever you think, oh yeah, I got it all on I got it out the money, you didn't do nothing yourself. Literally, there's no such thing as a self-made anything.
Or if you did, know that it was God blessing you. So don't mess up your blessings by not helping the next person.
Yeah, but again, God did do it, but it's literally impossible to do it on your own. Because even if you started a business on your own, who gave you money? We all need people to support us. Us on YouTube, yes, we could sit in here and do these videos and all these things, but guess what? YouTube don't pay nobody that's not getting viewed. You need your viewers, you need your audience to support you and show you love. You show genuine love back. If we make clothes and have a clothing line, we could do that out of our garage on our own, fund it ourselves. Guess what? We need somebody to buy those clothes as well. So literally, you need people no matter what, whether it's to give you opportunity or to purchase whatever you're trying to sell. So to think that you can't help the next person when we all literally need each other on this earth, it's crazy. That is why you should, again, show genuine love to everybody. We literally need each other here.
And as far as like social media makes it so easy to support. Like some stuff is just simply posting so other people can see. Like if your friend has a business and you just share it, it literally costs you nothing. Maybe you can't afford to buy their stuff. Maybe their stuff is not your style, Maybe you're allergic to it. I don't know. But that, like, share your friend's stuff. It's like really not hard. And it's like, what does it hurt you to share it? And what does it help you to not share it?
Yeah.
Especially
when your story is 24 hours. But
yeah,
But yeah, so I feel like
be kind.
Yeah, be kind.
Understand. Say be kind, rewind.
Understand that we do need each other. You feel me? Can't get it on your own. And then also they say be the person that you needed when you were coming up. So if you are a person that achieved this great success, don't be, like she said, don't be afraid to be the shortcut for the person. Don't be afraid to be the shortcut you wish you would have had.
Yeah.
Like look out for somebody. And that's with anything. So, yeah. Also, if you are a person who is in college or you are in entrepreneurship, and maybe you're struggling in college, or maybe you struggling in your entrepreneurship, or maybe you just literally in no man's land, like you just not doing anything, and you feel like lost. Understand that it's okay to be lost, because the only way that you're lost is if you're seeking something. I'm not lost. You know what I'm saying? We only say we're lost if we're trying to get to a destination and we don't know where we're at right now. That's the only way you get lost. Something is not lost unless you're looking for it. If I lose my keys, they're lost because I'm looking for them. They're not lost because they're sitting wherever they're at. So understand that being lost is not a bad thing. It actually means you are trying to find, you are seeking. Because somebody who's not seeking, they're not lost, they chilling.
Yeah.
So
take that moment to like sit and be with yourself, be with God, and try to route your destination. Like some people can get lost in dating, lost in, like I said, finding your keys. I will lose my keys and be like, Lord, please let these keys appear, because I have no idea.
But guess what? But even with the keys, though, as long as you continue to seek, continue to look, continue to search, you will eventually find what you're looking for. So in this case, you eventually find your keys. Oh, they were under the couch.
And sometimes you have to sit and think, where did I last see them?
Yeah. Yes.
So when you're lost, think, okay, what was I last doing? Why was I not happy with that? How did I get here?
Yeah.
And how do I get to the next spot?
Yeah. And what did it feel like when I was in a better place? Or what is the place that I'm looking for? Then you start by doing things like finding like-minded individuals. Like sometimes you got to disconnect from first. When you're in a place of feeling lost, first you may have to disconnect from everybody, and then reevaluate yourself to find out what it is you need. And then when you reconnect with people, you need to connect with the right people that line up with what you found that you needed when you were sitting by yourself.
Because people require energy and time. Like you were saying before on the other episode, just with men and talk to multiple women, it can lose your focus. But being a guy and hanging out too much with your friends, you can lose your focus because you're getting caught up in day-to-day life with them. So sometimes just unplugging and sitting by yourself can help you.
Yeah, definitely. So just make sure you're connected with the right things, but most importantly, be connected with yourself. Understand exactly who you are, and then really move based on that. And don't do things that don't line up with who you are, because that's how you become unhappy. So you may be one that's like, maybe I want a wife, but my friends want me out here, clubbing and doing a bunch of stuff. And it'd be cool for them 2 hours that we out. But then as soon as I get home by myself, I'm depressed. Because truthfully, I want a certain type of life. Okay.
And you can go get you a wife that likes to party with you.
Yeah. So keep it real with yourself and say, you know what, that's not me. Maybe I do want to start a business, but all my friends are doing other things that they out here chilling. I'm trying to reach for higher things. You might have to say like, man, we've been friends since 3rd grade, bro, but we just not on the same wavelength right now. They say like in a marriage, you want to be equally yoked, right? That just means we on the same wavelength spiritually, mentally, what we feel our goals are. They may not be the same goal, but we headed in the same direction. All these types of things. That don't just apply in a domestic partnership with a marriage or whatever the case. That apply with your friends too. If we're not equally yoked right now, we can't kick it, because you might be going left and I'm trying to go right. You might be trying to go down, I'm trying to go up. And we can't really, right now in this time, it may not be forever. I may love you forever. You my guy, you my girl, whatever. But right now we just can't kick it. I got to come back to you when I get to where I'm going, because right now I'm lost kicking it with you. So I got to disconnect, go find myself, go find what I'm trying to find. And then, bro, hopefully we can link up later. But if we don't, know that I do love you regardless. We just, I'm trying to get somewhere.
And real friends would be like, okay, cool. Go take care of you. And you might, depending on where they in life, you might inspire them to go take care of them too.
Exactly. They might circle back around and be like, man, when we disconnected, it kind of hurt a little bit, but I thought about some things you said, or I watched you grow and it made me want to do that. And then y'all could come back and now we could be friends in a space where we both happier with ourselves, or even a relationship. We got break up right now. We can come back later and be better for each other because we went off by ourselves and found ourselves. I can't break up with you because till death do us part.
Even before then, you couldn't break up with me.
Hey, well, look, baby, I asked you to marry me, stuff, because I wasn't planning on breaking up with you. You feel me? Come on, now I thought
we were going to make it a whole episode.
Baby, I told you that earlier. You know what I mean? I told you that earlier. I said, look.
Remember that one time you tried to walk out the door?
Yeah, you was like, you better not walk out that door. Boy, I love you. You better come back in. You better come back in here. You know I love you. You better quit playing with me.
I didn't say that.
I was like, hold on, baby. I was like, you want me to stay? You want me to stay, baby? So that
I definitely did not say that, but we'll let you have that one.
She was all, I'm trying to leave, right? Remember? Because I'm trying to leave. And she like, you really gonna leave? Please don't leave me, please. And I was like, no, because you know what I'm saying? Remember, because I was saying, yeah, you making me mad.
And I was going on. That is not how it happened at all.
He was like, please don't go. Please don't go. Please. And I was like, man, look, all right, look, I'm going to stay. But you need to chill. Remember that was the day. Because remember that time.
Are you gonna tell them what actually happened, or are we just gonna go?
No, remember it's that time when I was like, because I leave, because you know I leave too. Now I know what I said about we supposed to be together forever, but I get up out of here. Because one thing you ain't finna do is disrespect me. And you was like, okay, come back, please. I'll do anything. And I was like, you gonna make that Jell-O cake you be making? And you was like, yeah, I'll make the Jell-O cake. And then she made the Jell-O cake, and now we here.
Well, we know it's a lie because the first time he tried Jell-O cake was right before we came here.
They didn't.
They had to know that I didn't say that.
That's literally what happened, right?
No, that's not what happened.
What happened? What happened? What happened when you told me I better not walk out the door? What'd you tell me? What happened?
If you don't know, I don't know, but I know it wasn't that.
Well, right now, look, it's my side is your side, then there's the truth, okay? Right now, we only got my side. So as of right now, that's the truth. And, that was just my perception. And they say perception is reality. Now,
that could be how you heard it. I'm happy. If that's how you heard it, I'm happy that's how you heard it.
Yeah, because I was like...
Because that ain't what I said.
Because I was ready to... Thank you for begging me to stay, because that would have been a bad decision. That would have been a bad decision. That would have been such a bad decision.
On that, and you pushing it.
Man, that would have been a bad decision to leave.
Because you knew it would be a problem.
All right, here's the real story. I'll tell the real story.
No. Tell your story.
Listen, I started this episode lying, and I'm going to go out lying.
Oh, well, at least you're consistent.
Look, so here's the real story. I forgot what we was arguing about. That's the truth. What I do know is I was upset and she was upset. And like I told y'all on multiple episodes now, I'm a gangster. So anybody scared of Janelle, right? So I actually did have somewhere to be. I do remember that. I was already late somewhere. So I wasn't just trying to storm out the house. Like, forget this. I'm
Did you really have someplace to be?
No, I did. I do remember that. I promise you I did. I know it's hard to trust me because I've been lying since the beginning. Like I lied in the beginning, then I just lied. But this is the truth. So I had somewhere to be, but it wasn't somewhere I couldn't be late to, but I still had to be there. Now, me and Janelle were having an argument, and
because we do argue.
Yeah, and I try to leave. Like, you know what? I'm about to just go because
allegedly you have somewhere to go.
I do got somewhere to be, and I'm not trying to argue with you. But anyway, so I get up to leave, and then I get by the door, and out of nowhere, in the deepest voice I've ever heard her speaking, she was like, "If you walk out that door, we're gonna have a problem." And I was like,
My voice is not that deep.
it was that day. If you walk out that door, we're gonna have a problem. And I was and so I
Third
stood
grader?
there. Yes. I stood there and there was a gangster on my shoulder and there was a sucker on the other shoulder. There was a
How
straight.
about there be a devil and an angel?
Okay, I couldn't say the words I wanted to say, but yes, there was a devil on this shoulder, and it was like, yeah, just walk out the door. What's she gonna beat you up? Yeah, you better walk out that door. And the angel was like, oh man, please, man, I've seen this before, man. Please don't do it, man. Just go back in there, man. Just hurry up, man. No, seriously, it doesn't sound good, man. Just please. And so, me being the Christian I am, I went ahead and listened to the angel. I didn't walk out the door. I walked back in the room and I was like, I guess we got a problem then. Now, notice how I didn't actually walk out the door. So we didn't truly have a problem, but that was me trying to keep my ego and my pride. Like,
You can't have that in a relationship.
yeah. So, like I said before, I ain't walked out a door since. I crawl out of every door. So y'all see me leaving Target and I crawl through the doors because I don't want no problems with it. Don't let the glasses and the what they call it, the vernacular. And I got into my HBCU on an academic scholarship. I didn't need athletics. I was going to be an engineer, but then the Lord said, you know what? Why don't you go and be a doctor? Like, don't let little miss like,
I'm not a doctor.
not yet. Come on now, baby. But don't let she's a woman. Let's just call it what it is.
What does that mean?
What? What does that mean? Y'all all got a little bit of psycho in y'all. Y'all don't always deploy it, but it's a place that y'all all can go to.
Maybe only men can send us there.
Do you know that she calmly? Did you say that on the episode too? She has been telling me the whole relationship. If you leave me, or if I do anything that's just like extreme, she'd be like, I'm going to kill you. And then she's like, I'm going to kill you. And then I'm going to turn myself in. And I already told your mother I was going to do it. So everyone's going to know it's me. I mean, like, and then
I did say that.
She's like,
I think I said that on the one we didn't post.
Oh, well, she says things like that to me. Or she said, well, I know, I'm a nurse. So you already know I know how to kill you, and then be very silent and calm. Yeah, I'll just wait till you sleep. And because we got like real needles in the house, like, and things like, so.
That's not what I said. I said
Do not let
that I could paralyze you.
Yeah, I know how to
While you're
paralyze
awake.
you to where you're awake, and you can actually see me burn your legs from the feet
Well, I
up.
wouldn't need to do that because your lungs would become paralyzed too, and you couldn't breathe, and eventually you would die.
See, she wants me to be able to be like able to breathe enough to stay alive, but not be able to breathe enough to where I can feel like I'm not breathing, and then it's like. So what I mean is, do not let the pretty teeth and sometimes the glasses, depend on the day, don't let her fool you. It's a reason why I didn't walk out the door. It's
You
what I
don't
want
want
to
to
say.
lose all it is.
You right. No, you right. I wasn't.
Because you
trying-
wasn't going to get it back.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be lost.
You only had one shot. Like,
Do
what's
not
his
miss your
name
chance to
said.
blow. Yeah, I didn't want to be lost like we was talking about earlier, because then I'd have been looking forever. You feel me?
Yeah, and you wouldn't have found me again.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, baby, you are like the keys. You know what I mean? And nobody want to lose their keys.
We've
and
been
for
here
me,
a while, and we've done a lot of talking.
for me, baby,
we haven't had any comedic relief this episode. It was
and for me, baby,
serious. You
are the keys.
Thank
feel
you
me?
for watching.
No,
we
listen,
didn't say that. We didn't say like, share, subscribe.
But look, I didn't want to lose you because you are the keys. You know what I'm saying? You had the key to my heart. You know what I'm saying? Then I realized you was the key to my happiness. You feel me? And then, what? Baby, I'm trying to get you this game, baby.
You was doing fine until you said game. Cause I was about to say that's really how you feel, but now it's just a game. So we out.
You the keys, and then look, listen, baby, you the keys, cause you know what I'm saying. You gave me the drive. You know what I mean, and you know what I'm saying. And all right, y'all.
That's not what you said in your vows.
Did you want to hear that?
No, it's time to go.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, this is Love is Funny. I'm DJ.
Eventually, you can catch our vows whenever we get the video.
Yeah, we're going to get the video soon. You feel me? But yeah. So, again, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Demarie. Y'all going to call me my full name, Demarie. And that's, what's your name?
Janelle. I was going to give myself a nickname, but I changed my mind.
Okay. And we are Love is Funny. And you can find us on Instagram. Mine is at @this_is_DJTV.
Mine is I am Nelly, BIAMNELLEY.
Yeah, but I might start calling you I am. I might start calling you I am Nelly. I am Nelly Key. I am Nelly Key. You might need to think about that.
It would be Nelly J, if anything. Because you want me to give other people keys?
No, what?
Okay,
what?
then.
First of all, keys only drive one car. What is he talking about? Don't make me boop you upside your... All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
She looking at me.
So? All right. Bye, officially.